into it. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, cool. Thanks for having me, Mike. So yeah, my name's Noel Greene, the singer guitarist for Orphan Riot out of Burlington, North Carolina. And yeah, we just put out our new album last Friday, and it's really fucking tight. So happy to get into it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So the album you're talking about is this puppy right here.
Oh yeah.
A little bit of a glare from the packaging, but so that is your new self-titled album. It's got 9 songs on it. Tell me about the writing process for that record. I know there's kind of been probably about 2 years that it took you to put that together. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So like a lot has happened since we put out like our last EP 37. So like right after like a quarantine, like we like we're really just hitting it like as hard as we could, and that was like the first time that we could go like out on the road, and it was just really fun getting to tour because we did like a Midwest run summer 2021, and like we're just really fired up about that. But it seems like right afterwards we had just shit just hit the fan, and like the wheels just like came off, and I was the only one left standing in the band. And it's really funny because I wrote that. It's just the whole record's just kind of about change and like coming to terms with it. But yeah, it was just there's like a lot of frustration and hurt going on with that because I really didn't even think we'd be able to record it. But I'm super stoked. Everything's going really good. This is the best lineup we've ever had. And it's doing really fucking nice.
Yeah, as a person who's been following your success for about 4 or 5 years now,
Yeah.
been around since I think almost the beginning. I think you guys were probably around a year or two prior to when we met, but you've definitely been through a lot of people, and everybody's been basically great people and great players. But I
Yeah.
agree with you. I think that you've finally got a lineup that has solidified the sound that you're going for, and I'm really stoked on it. And the couple shows that I've seen with this lineup have been incredible. I think it's some of the best stuff you guys have done, and this record is just out of this world great. I'm so happy to be the label to put it out. I'm so proud of how well it's selling so far, and I think it's going real well, and I'm stoked on it. So, tell me a little bit about the newest members of the band.
So yeah, it's really cool because we both met just about a year ago on Christian Mingle. So hell yeah.
Is that like not farmers only? Like Christian Mingle, that's where you met? Not farmers only?
Oh yeah. Or might have been like Italians only or some shit.
Yeah, your dad told me it was on J Date.
But no, it's really funny because Brennan, our drummer, like we've been on each other's radar, like on Instagram for about a year or so before like we actually met. Because with everything going down with our lineup, and then he had like a project I was following through, and so we just like got in touch over Instagram. Like the first time we played together, we just really fucking gelled, and it's like really cool getting to have like 2 different people who like understand, like just got the passion, just like the fire under their ass, like I do. Because Brennan, he kills it. It's like mini, like Travis Barker, baby Barker over there.
I like that, baby Barker.
Oh yeah. And then yeah, Dylan we met like soon after on a band mix, and it's really funny with him because he's in his like early 30s, his wife and kids, and like on paper like it seemed like it wouldn't work out, but it's just the best fit. Because like we all get along super well, and his family is super supportive, and we're just really glad about that.
That's great. Yeah, everybody in the band now are such good players, and not to say that people in the past weren't good players, but it just seems like that everybody right now is a cohesive unit that has the same mission, the same goals, and it seems like you three probably listen to a lot of the same shit, which is always can't be a bad thing for a band that has a certain style that they're going for. Tell us a little bit about the recording of the record. Tell us where you recorded it at, who produced it, and about just maybe talk about the songs a little bit.
Yeah, so we recorded the record like with our producer Scotty Sandwich out of the Sandwich Stop, his house studio up in Oxford, North Carolina, and we've worked with him for years, and like we're just super tight. But I know, so yeah, we recorded our album American Endgame, EP 37 with him a couple years back. And just been working with him since. But like right before like I started writing the stuff for this record, he's just like, all right, Noel, I know you like Rancid. Like, what else do you have? And so that, hell yeah. And like after that, I just like went off running, and that was right around the time that I got really big into Alkaline Trio. Oh, shit, hold on.
Nice.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And so, and I feel like there's like a style, like a really cool stylistic change with a lot of the new stuff. Cause yeah, really paying attention, like more intricate guitar work. Like I love how like I actually have like riffs and like really get to show that off. Cause I've been paying a lot of attention to Alkaline Trio, Matt Skiba, and then like Pete from the Bouncing Souls, just like another really big influence. And
Yeah. I can hear that in this record too.
hell yeah. And yeah, so the recording, what's that?
Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
And yeah, so the recording process, we started about last February or so. And it's really cool. Like we were able to just like knock it out really quickly. And then the funny thing, like with Dylan, like he's a fantastic singer, which we're really stoked about. And we got like most of the vocals done, like just me, but I know like during like our live shows, like he's really just like stepping up and like sharing his stuff. And like I've always loved bands that have like dual vocalists. It's like two different flavors. So with Rancid, like Tim and Lars, or like from Lawrence Arms, Brennan and Chris. But it's just like really cool to have that dynamic, and really looking forward to writing the next album and just like starting a whole lot of stuff going with that.
Talk to me about summer tour plans. Is there anything like that in the horizon for Orphan Riot?
So yeah, I know like we're currently booking our summer, but this spring, like we're just hitting like our regular territory, like hitting it really hard, North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina, dipping into Tennessee some more. But the summer, like we're just really hoping to expand like as much as we can. Because we're thinking about or like hoping to do a run up to New Jersey and then going down to like Alabama. Because we got a lot of friends that we've made like in both areas there. So we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I know I've got you guys coming here in the spring to Tennessee, and then I'd be coming back in the summer to Tennessee. And then I've got you guys on a rad show in Asheville, North Carolina in August, which is going to be awesome.
For that, yeah.
That'll be one of my punk and drag events that I have coming up. So that's going to be really cool. Have you guys considered doing a run down to Florida? Is that something that's never been spoken about, being as close as you are?
I know we've definitely thought about that a whole lot, because I know like we've got a lot of friends like Houston from Houston and Dirty Rats who we're really tight with. It's like everything we've heard about Florida is like you could just make a killing down there. And like you could just tour like just the peninsula basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely like any other state. It's hit or miss, but there are pockets of really, really good punk scenes. I've got a lot of friends in Florida that can for sure help you guys out. But man, there's just so many places to play. There's so many pockets of scenes that have their own fledgling punk scene that it's one of those places you just have to hit because it's kind of a no-brainer. There's a lot of cool spots in the South for punk, but Florida's just got so many different opportunities to go down. And I mean, you could tour for a week and barely use any gas and just kill it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. It's like really, it's like how many like really cool pockets and just kind of a small area too. It's like how close they are. Yeah.
So I missed the release show last week, but from the pictures and the videos I saw, it seems like it was off the chain. So tell us a little bit about your album release show last week.
It was fucking gnarly because I know we played at the local 506, and it's really cool. I've been going to shows there since I was a kid, and it's like getting to like play there, just like having the crowd was just felt fuck out of this world. It was great. And then the lineup was really tight because our producer Scotty Sandwich playing with Wolves, and Wolves now, and that was my first time seeing them, and they absolutely just rip. And then, so it's really cool. Just like a lot of like the bands we're tight with, because we got our friends Her Majesty out of Roanoke, Virginia. They came down and they killed it. And then we're really tight with a hair metal band out of a High Point Pageant. And it's like, oh, definitely, yeah. It's like really cool. And like we're all just like super tight with each other, got like a really good connection. And so I love just like how different like we all are, but like we just like understand everything, which is really sick.
So from the pictures, it looked like it was a pretty full house. Do you have an estimate of how many people attended the release show?
I think like when we were counting door afterwards, there were about 80 that paid to get in. And then like another 10 or so, like with all the bands and like the bar staff. And it's really cool because it's like the biggest crowd that we've had like come and go see us, which that It felt amazing.
Yeah, the picture that I saw that was you guys on the stage, facing the crowd was awesome. I was so proud of you guys and so happy. It's like
Thank you so
such a
much.
cool, just seems like such a cool moment. So here is the record, like we talked about. This is the new Orphan Riot album. It's self-titled. It's got 9 awesome street punk tracks on it, and you can get it right now on CD. And we have the CD digipack out now. Hopefully, on the horizon, we'll do a vinyl release if we can get the money together. I know that money and time is always the big thing. You never know. You never know how the chips are going to fall. But what's the thing that you're the most proudest about of that new self-titled album, Noel?
Just really my growth as a songwriter and a lyricist, because like I was saying earlier, just like it came from just a fucking real like a real place for me. And then because I know I knocked out like the songs just like one at like they just kept coming. And it's just like really cool, just like how solid everything is.
So tell us a little about the formation of the group. So when I first met you, I would say you were probably 15 and
Yeah,
already kicking,
I'm like
already,
just yeah.
in my opinion, already kicking ass and taking names and really impressing me as a washed up fucking old dude and almost in his 40s at that point. But what I've seen pictures that you guys are even younger in pictures that I've seen on the Orphan Riot Facebook than when I first met you. So what age were you when the band started?
I don't know, like it started when like me and just some from friends for like middle and high school. It's like we just been I know like we're kind of like Green Day was like our big fucking thing. And I know we got the American Idiot poster up there. So
Yeah.
it's like, like I've been playing guitar just for like a hot minute at that point. And then just kind of jamming together. And then just like really just kind of going from there. And just like after that, just like started writing like our own material again, like our stuff out there. And it just kept going from there.
So when you first started, did you guys do what a lot of garage rock bands do and play a bunch of covers for your first couple shows, or did you have originals when you first started out?
I know our first show, I just remember was all covers, and like we just kind of kept adding it on from there. It's like just like the bigotry. It's like, oh, I wrote a new song, and so we get to put that in between a Queens of the Stone Age cover or some shit.
It's nice that, that moment where when your band's first starting out and you're a few shows in, that moment where you realize, oh shit, our set's not all covers. That moment where you start peppering in your own material and you realize, oh, we're not just a cover band anymore. That's always a fun moment. I think most bands have that. There's some bands that start out of the gate that just write original material and don't ever want to do covers, but not a lot of bands. A lot of bands start out and they just have to learn some other material to get the things rolling. And I know my first show, I was probably 18 years old, and the band I was in at the time, we played for an hour and like 15 minutes for some godforsaken reason, and it was all covers. I mean, everything from fucking Pink Floyd, who I hate, to Nirvana, to POD, to just so much cringe, embarrassing dog shit. But it was also like 1999, 2000.
It's like trying to cater to everybody, so you cater to nobody.
We catered to a lot of people that were interested in listening to everything from fucking new metal to classic rock to I think we even did like a Blink 182 cover or some shit.
Yeah.
But hey, you gotta start somewhere, right?
Definitely. I don't know what's really funny because Orphan Riot's like the only, or it's like this is my first band, like first project I've ever done. So it's like every milestone is new for me because I know the first just like oh shit moment was like the first set that we played was just all originals. And like that's like you really felt like you accomplished something that felt great. And at this point, or like like punk bands, it's like, oh, throwing in this a couple covers, it's like, oh, let's get the crowd hyped up. It's like having fun with it.
Yeah.
Or no, what was really funny, so about a month or two ago, or so, we've been playing like the Suicidal Tendencies Psychovision for a while now.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just jamming, having fun with that. But we were playing with a band, Talking Props from Chile, who were like coming up after Fest and doing like a little run. And I just remember those guys were the nicest fucking dudes. and like their bassist just like lost his shit when we were playing. Oh my god! I remember like it, like, oh, y'all are three-piece doing Suicidal Tendencies. Hell yeah!
Yeah. Yeah, I've got when we played with you guys, regular set played with you guys in Roanoke at the
Flying
skate
Panther,
park. Yeah, at Flying. Sorry, brain sucks. We played with you guys at Flying Panther, and I videoed you guys doing that Suicide Tendencies cover. It's on YouTube, so if anybody wants to search for Orphan Riot and the Coffin Curse channel, you can find that cover being performed in Roanoke.
Hell
So.
yeah!
Are you using the Screeching Weasel Yesterday cover that's on the album? Is that in your set right
now? Oh, definitely.
Nice.
Because yeah, for the album release, because the album's only like 20-something minutes, and so it's really like we could theoretically just like fit the whole thing in there and sell us and have like room for some of our like other stuff.
Yeah, you mean you put out a punk record that's less than 30 minutes long?
I know, man.
Never. Sacrilege. No, I need to stop drinking fucking seltzer waters in interviews. I keep getting the burps as I continue to drink it.
Small price to pay.
It's a small price to pay for hydration.
Hydrate or dihydrate, man. I'm with you.
I hear people say that shit all the time. I wonder who came up with that. I always wonder about sayings, like when somebody says a saying like that is so well known. I wonder if the person that came up with it that knows they came up with it, I wonder if they're like, man, I didn't make shit off that.
It's like, man, there was an idea there. Like, dude, print the t-shirts, bumper stickers, everything.
Like, I always wonder if, I mean, we're only 3 episodes into this podcast, but I'm just waiting for the day that the WWE or Stone Cold Steve Austin try to sue my ass. Oh, hell yeah. So I'm going to ask you a question that I'm going to ask every guest, and that is, can you tell me in your own memory, which you're only, what, 19 years old?
18.
18. So, damn, your memories are few and far between, Noel. It shouldn't be too hard to remember. In your own words, what can you say got you into punk rock?
I don't know, like my first gateway drug, like as a lot of people, was Green Day. Because what happened was like I learned, like I had like 4 Nirvana songs that I just play over and over, and like my parents just got really sick of hearing "Smells Like Teen Spirit" for fucking minutes. And I was like, and then my mom was like, "All right, here's American Idiot," and I played that, and like that was like the first, like, you know, like when you're listening to something for the first time and you stop just dead in your tracks. So that was like the first moment there. And then so yeah, this Green Day was just like my obsession. Like when I was really little, but I remember like a couple years after that, me and my dad were in the parking lot of like Michael's or something. And like, this was like right after I started the band. I was like trying to figure out like what I wanted to do. And then like in the car speaker or something, he's just playing Ruby Soho. And then that's just like the whole world just unlocked for me right there.
Yeah, that's a great one. So I've stayed at your house a couple times now. And so I know the setting, but tell people what your house is like as far as basically how it's a shrine to all things heavy metal and punk rock.
Definitely, yeah. Because like my dad, like he first got me hooked into music. Because like the first thing like I really gravitated to, or no, like I loved the Beatles when I was really little. But my dad came home from like an Iron Maiden show, and I think that was his first time seeing them. But he had like the whole like the crazy decked out T-shirt, and I remember just a little kid, I was just blown away. He's like, "What is that?" He's like, "Oh, it's this heavy metal band." I was like, "I gotta check that out." And then he just like played Run to the Hills on YouTube or something. And then because Iron Maiden have always been just like one of my staple bands for him, like a lot of people. But
yeah,
because he grew up, and it was really funny because when I was little, it's like I loved just like thrash metal and hair metal too, and like I've like going back discovering that. Like hell, I just bought Skid Row record today, but.
That's awesome. Which record did you buy? Self-titled?
Yeah.
That's the jam.
Or no,
you should also pick up Slave to the Grind if you haven't got it yet.
I found like Slave to the Grind on CD at Goodwill for $1.
Nice.
A couple years ago. That was like one of my best thrift store finds. Shit.
That's the way to do it, man.
Hell yeah. So yeah, I grew up just like loving just like heavy metal. And then like when I was getting into punk, because like my dad, like he'd always been around it. He had friends that like listened to like Rancid and Blink, stuff like that. But it's
Yeah.
like like once I started getting into it, it's like I just like started showing him, and then it's like that's just another thing that we really bonded with, because like one of his all-time favorite bands now is the Bouncing Souls, and
Oh, damn.
or yeah, they just announced like new tour dates and like the new album today, and he's just really stoked about that, which is really really funny.
Yeah, they announced those tour dates, and I was blown away because they're coming to Asheville. I'm sure, is Asheville the show you guys will probably go to, or is there a closer one?
My dad's talking like we're talking about doing Asheville and Charlotte.
Nice. So I'm
So,
definitely going to go. Definitely going to go to the Asheville one because it's only an hour and a half from here.
oh yeah,
But you know how the tour is kind of broken up in the multiple different months.
yeah, like
Well, it's like there's April dates, and then I think the Asheville dates over like in the summer, isn't it?
it's in December.
Oh, okay. So it's broken up by like multiple months. Well, the first week of the tour is with a Wilhelm Scream, and a Wilhelm Scream are one of my favorite bands.
Yeah,
And that show's hitting Cincinnati, and that's like 4 hours from here. So I'm definitely going to see at least two shows of that tour: the April Cincinnati one, and then in December go to Asheville. So I love the Bouncing Souls, but I'm stoked to see a Wilhelm Scream again. That was I've been a Wilhelm Scream fan since my wife and I got married 17 years ago. We went to see Bayside on our honeymoon, and a Wilhelm Scream was the opening band. And I'm a Bayside fan, but a Wilhelm Scream took the fucking cake that night. That show was shit. I've been a fan ever since. So when those dates got announced today, I was like, oh shit. I wish a Wilhelm Scream was on the whole run.
yeah. Or no, I saw Wilhelm Scream a couple years ago at a Camp Anarchy, just like a big punk fest in Ohio.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was like my first time getting to see just like a lot of bands there. And
Yeah, that's really cool that so you're telling me something tonight that I'm just now finding out. And I've known your dad as long as I've known you. So knowing your dad for at least 4 years, I knew your dad I knew that your dad had a past in metal bands and was into metal, but I didn't even know that he was into punk. Honestly, I just assumed he was into punk because of you. I didn't know that he helped you get turned on to punk. So that's something new right there. I never knew that. I just assumed that he got you into music because of his metal background, and you fed him into punk, and he just had to learn to like it because that's what you liked. But it's cool to know that he showed you some stuff.
and it's really cool. Like we're just like bouncing bands with each other now. Cause I know like I've just gotten really big in like the Menzingers and like Gaslight Anthem. And so like we'll be in the car, just like, all right, put on like 59 Sound or like After the Party or something. So
Yeah. Yeah. Did you know the Gaslight Anthem got back together and they're working on a new record?
yeah, I'm super pumped with that.
Oh, it's
Then,
good.
like, because it's funny, I started listening to them like right after I found out they got together. So
Really?
yeah, or shit.
Oh man, you missed the boat on that one.
Oh,
They I love the first few records, the stuff like pre 59 Sound, and I like the 59 Sound record, but man, toward the end they kind of lost me, and I've never really been into the Brian Fallon solo stuff. I went to see Brian Fallon on his first solo tour in Nashville, and it bored me to death. I was like, God damn. So I'm excited for them to be back.
definitely. Or it's really funny. Like I noticed like my music taste is like mellowing out, or it's like expanding really. So it's like, shit, I just picked up fucking American slang earlier today.
Nice.
It's
That's a great record.
oh yeah.
That's a great record. The one I couldn't get with was Handwritten. Handwritten didn't really catch my attention.
Handwritten is really hit or miss for me because I know, yeah, 45 and Handwritten and like Desire, just it's got like some of the best stuff, but like also just like some of their work because it's like half the album sounds like just like the rock or something that you'd hear in like a Ford commercial or something.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the songs was in a truck commercial, like right after it came out.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure, but you know what? Pay them fucking bills, right?
Oh, they paid their due.
Yeah, which song on this record are we going to put in the Ford commercial? Because I'm all about it. Well, I've got one more question for you as we wrap up, and I'll be honest with you. Most of my good friends, and you're obviously a good friend of mine, most of my good friends, I know exactly what I assume I know what they're going to say to this question. With you, it's a complete mystery. I don't think I've ever talked to you about pro wrestling ever once in my life. So the answer to this has probably been pretty interesting. So I'm just going to ask you, do you like pro wrestling? And if not, what is the first thing or what's the first wrestler that comes to your mind when you think pro wrestling?
So I got a confession, like I'm not that big into pro wrestling. Like it never really appealed to me.
Okay.
No, I was really tight with my cousins when I was little. And yeah, one of them was like really big into WWE about like 10, 15 years ago. But I remember his favorite was Rey Mysterio, and that's just the only one I could think of right now. I don't know why.
so not being a wrestling fan, which is fine. It's obviously, I like it. This gives me, rather than going into a 20-minute tangent about this and that and the other, we can talk about why you haven't been into wrestling. So you're not into wrestling, not something you ever really dabbled in, and I get that. It's cool to know that that's the name that comes to mind, because honestly, I would never have guessed that would be somebody's, knee-jerk reaction if I say, I know you don't watch wrestling, who's the first person that jumps in your head? That's a pretty cool name. I mean, Rey Mysterio is really fucking good. He's actually a super talented, high-level wrestler, and there's a lot worse you could have named. I always assume for this question that I'm going to get a lot of Hulk Hogan, and I'm going to get, I've never watched wrestling, but I remember Ric Flair. I figured I'd get a lot of that. So getting Rey Mysterio is actually pretty cool because it's totally different.
Yeah, it's really funny. Just like, oh, I don't like wrestling, but it just throw like just a curveball at you. Because like,
now I'm going to find the most off the wall Rey Mysterio matches and moments and just start blowing your phone up with them.
You're just gonna be like, dude, check this out, man. Come on.
In the late 90s, during the WCW Monday Nitro days, there's a moment that is very much probably, I would say, top 3 most well talked about, well-known Rey Mysterio moments. Everybody calls it the lawn dart incident. So Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, who were the NWO, the Wolfpack, they were assaulting Rey Mysterio outside by one of the trucks that they used for all the equipment, like the 18-wheelers.
Yeah.
And, obviously it's scripted, and they were supposed to throw Rey Mysterio against the equipment truck. Well, he's a little dude, and they were big guys, and they heaved the motherfucker. And it looks, when you watch the video, it looks like they killed him. He didn't get hurt at all, but everybody calls it the Rey Mysterio lawn dart because they literally threw his little ass like a lawn dart up against the side of this equipment truck, and it literally looks like he gets broken in fucking half. It's incredible that he didn't get hurt. But yeah, if you Google Rey Mysterio, I bet you that's one of the, if you Google it, click on videos, it's got to be one of the top 3 videos, just because it's such a, synonymous moment with his name.
Definitely. I'll check that out after this. Yeah.
Well, Noel, while we wrap up here, tell me a couple things that you guys got coming up in the next month or so. Any plans that you have that you really want to get out there? And let us know where to check Orphan Riot out.
All right, yeah. So right now we're just planning, just like playing out just as much as we can. So I'm hitting it's like all our like a home base in North Carolina, and just branching out like wherever we can. So, and yeah, check out like all of our music streaming on like Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music, like just wherever you get your music. And check out our Instagram and Facebook. Like figure out so whatever our live dates are. Come check us out. Say hey. You know the drill.
Yeah, and you can pick up the new Orphan Riot self-titled album on CD from coffincurserecords.com. Link right down here.
Hell yeah.
And I'll put all the links to Orphan Riot's social media and all of your streaming sites and everything in the description for this video. So you guys have the record. I haven't looked yet. The record is on your Bandcamp, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, cool. So for people watching this that are interested and like the music that they saw at the intro to the episode, if you want to pick up a CD, please do. You can buy it from us at coffincurserecords.com, or you can buy it from the band if you plan on seeing them at a show. But if you're not a big CD and fan of having tangible media, if you want to get a digital copy, you can buy it at their Bandcamp. What's your Bandcamp, Noel?
I believe just like look up Orphan Riot. You'll see like the OR logo there, and we also have everything that we've put out. So yeah, like all of our other albums and EPs. Best way to support us directly online. So thank you so much.
Cool. So probably just bandcamp.com/Orphan Riot. You can download the digital version on there. And I appreciate your time, brother.
But don't call on me when you're open, you're ready just to kill.